So now, here's another good example of a way you could use a current regulator diode right there, or current limiting diode, CLD right there. So it is intended to pass current in one direction, and it actually sets the current as long as you have enough voltage to push that current and meet whatever other voltage needs there are. So of course, in this case, the capacitor is going to get fully charged at some point, and then current is not going to pass anymore. It's going to go down to a 0 at some point. This is a measurement symbol there. So probably in an oscilloscope, you may see like a wavy form or whatever, but this is actually the form we're going to get. When I close the switch right there, the capacitor is going to discharge. We're going to be down at 0 volts. And then when I release the switch, whatever current goes, while the switch is closed, whatever current goes through our current setting diode right there, will just go right to ground because the switch will be closed. And the meter will see ground at both points right there. When we open the switch, then that current now will go into the capacitor. And as you put current into a capacitor, the voltage rises. So now, to make the math really easy right here, we have a 1000 microfarad capacitor. That's the same as 1 millifarad. It's the exact same. It's how you look at it. So we got 1 milliamp of current going into a 1 millifarad capacitor. Every second the voltage will rise 1 volt. Pretty simple. As long as you got steady current, you'll get a steady voltage rise when it comes to capacitors. And if it's 1 milliamp of current, 1 millifarad capacitor, that's 1 volt per second. If this was a large supercapacitor, you know, not actually a large supercapacitor, a small supercapacitor, but a supercapacitor could be 1 farad. If you got 1 amp of current going into that supercapacitor, then its voltage will rise 1 volt per second. So this scales up or down however you need to. So we're going to keep it simple. But there you can see we go to the negative supply. And again, if you're looking at the schematic, we are not measuring the voltage with an oscilloscope yet. We will do that next. So now I got the oscilloscope right there, and we're going to end up doing channel 2 right there. Just that's the probe that I grabbed. And so for time, that's 1 second. Every second this rolls. We're in rolling mode right now. You can see roll up there. It rolls 1 square every second. Pretty straightforward. And then this is about 0 volts right there. I got it a little elevated for whatever reason. I didn't have to change any settings. This is how it was. But I got it set so each division there is 1 volt right there. So of course we could adjust all those to show other stuff right there. But we'll zoom back, and looks like lighting not that great. It's kind of hard to tell where the best lighting would be. So yeah, I think that's the best compromise right there. And we have the probe. So there's 2 probes, one for channel 1 depending on where it's plugged in, and the other for channel 2. So I already tested this out. This is channel 2. So this is where we're gonna connect our ground. And I don't know what that voltage spike was. So I got a jumper there. I can clip the jumper with the alligator clip. I think it doesn't really feel like a solid clip. Okay, there we go. So would put it anywhere that goes to the negative supply. So I'm going to go to that rail right there, negative supply. So we're maintaining 0 volts. And again, I can give stray signals with my finger. Now this does go positive and negative in relationship to the negative supply, but we're not working with negative voltages, so we don't have to worry about lower. If we also had negative voltage, we would set this halfway up there so that we could see it moving up or down for positive or negative. So I'm going to do the same thing, the jumper there, but here's a hook. This is really common for the probe. So this is going to be the voltage in relationship to this. So this is 0 volts. As it goes up, that means that this is measuring a higher voltage. And again, if we raise the 0 volt point to the middle and you saw it go down, you would know that you have a negative voltage. So I can go to this side of the switch because it's connected from top to bottom. And right now I have 5 volts. I'm recharging this unit, and the battery does go down over time. So I would not just leave this locked up for long periods of time and not recharge it. So yeah, we got 5 volts and you know, common voltage, but that's going to be the limit that we can get. Again, this is a ramp. We're setting a current with the current regulator diode, current limiting diode, whatever you want to call it right there. It's got at least a couple names that it goes by. But yeah, there you can see. So steady voltage rise. And again, I haven't used this in a long time. Not sure. That is that button to pause it. Okay, so let's do that again. Right there. So it reset right there. My other oscilloscope, you can pause it, and when you unpause it, it just moves from where it was. But in any case, let's try to pause it right when it gets to a division. So as I said before, we got 1 milliamp of current going into a 1 millifarad, same as 1,000 microfarad capacitor. So it's going to be about a volt every second. So that's 1 volt, that's 1 second. Second volt over the second second, and so on, going up. Now, of course, when you get closer to the supply voltage, the current's going to go down through the current regulator diode. So you got to have enough voltage in order to overcome that. So we have 8 squares. So I'm going to raise the voltage to, we could do 9 volts, but we're going to raise it up to 8 volts. It would go off the top right there. But yeah, there you can see 8 squares. Going to unpause it again. And for this, there's a simple like play and pause button down there. So looks like, oh yeah, that's right. We got the charge capacitor. So I was thinking the line was still going to be down there. But yeah, it looks like we fall a little bit short of 8 volts probably. But again, close the switch. Doesn't matter that we raised the voltage there. We're setting a current into the capacitor with the current regulator diode. And so we'll get the same voltage ramp, other than now we can get a higher voltage of the voltage ramp. And so I'm just a speck off to the left there, same there, and so on. Again, it's not going to be a perfect 1 volt per second either, because a capacitor is not a perfect 1,000 microfarad or 1 millifarad. It's not perfect. It'll be off a little. And the amount of current that is flowing is also probably like a little bit lower. And it changes just a speck with how much voltage you're using as well. So these will not line up perfectly. But yeah, there you can see. Close enough. We got a pretty steady voltage rise right there. So it's a ramp. You can see that, you know, a ramp is just like a steady incline right there, or decline, or whatever. And that applies with voltages as well. And so you'll have a bottoming out, and then a ramp up to, in this case, we can't get perfectly to the top voltage. We got a little bit of curve. But for the most part, the voltage there is a ramp. It's a steady change. And ideally, you would stop at a lower voltage. Well, the current regulator diode could still pass current if you needed a steady voltage rise. So you wouldn't rise it all the way to the top of the voltage range. You could just have a lower voltage where you switch it off at a certain point, and then that will allow the capacitor to remain at the voltage, and you'll have a flat topping off if you so desire. So, in any case, again, this operates on battery. It's plugged in right now, recharging, but make sure you turn it off. I'm not sure if it auto shuts off or whatever. I don't use this a lot, but in case, that's it. Thanks for watching. Make sure you check out one of the other videos I posted on the screen, and check out links down below. They all help out a lot. I'll see you in the next video.